I've got this old Raketa that needs some servicing. It's a bit problematic, especially with the calendar, and sometimes the time. It does stop every now and then. So I've loosened the back earlier just to make it easier for me to open it with my fingers or tweezers. So let me just grab a tweezer. So let me just push this ring. So this case back is held down by this special ring. Just remove that and should be able to remove the case back. Just what's happening? Okay, so we'll use a screwdriver instead. There. And what do we have? It's a Raketa movement 2628.H. SU. SU stands for Soviet Union. So the first thing we need to do is remove the stem. So I'll just grab a toothpick, my trusty toothpick, clean of course. Where is it? Yep, so there's this special button. It's just a small, tiny button. Just press that one, and while pressing, pull the winding stem. Okay. Just yank that out. Okay. And now that it's free, we should be able to get the movement out of the case. So I'll grab my case cushion. It may be a bit stuck at times, so you might have to dislodge it with a screwdriver or any implement you want. Okay, let me just rotate this. It's in the shop, yep. And voila. Here's your Raketa movement. Next move, or next step, is to remove the hands. I'd like to align them to make it easy for removal, so I'll have to put back the winding stem. Just that little notch here. Okay. Right. Let's try to align it. That is, if the second hands would start moving. Eventually. Oops. Whoa. Woo. Here we go. Now I'll just grab my plastic sheet, a small plastic sheet. This will prevent scratching the dial, and it would also prevent sending those hands flying away across the room. Just making sure it's sitting correctly. Don't want to bend it. Yep, got it. Okay. Let me just get a container. I'll try to put this hands away somewhere safe. Oh, I don't know what these white flecks are. Looks like old paint, but I don't see it coming from the dial. Don't know what it is. Anyway, right. So, next step is to remove the spacer. That's the black ring. This black ring. Let's see. Okay. Now with this small screwdriver, I'll try to prise it off the movement. It's not held down by anything, so I imagine it can be just pulled out. Yep, like so. Excellent. Okay. Now I know there's two small screws here. Just like that dust. Yep. The dial is held down by two screws, two small screws on either side, so I'll have to find out where the other screw is. So if we just put the watch movement on its side and get it in focus, making sure it's in the shot. And there we go. And I can see the screw right now. I'll grab a screwdriver and point it to you. And that's this one here. So there should be another one on the other side, right across, opposite the first one. Maybe. It's somewhere here. Sorry, the camera is just in front of me and it's in the way. I can't see things. Here we go. Bingo. So this is the other one. Now normally I'll be loosening it halfway just to remove the dial, but because I'd like to give this a full service, I'll remove both screws so I can clean them up. So this time I'll take them off. Let me just get my screwdriver again. Actually, when you remove the screws completely, putting it back is a pain. So normally I don't do it, but in this occasion I'd like to really give it the full bath, just a full cleanup. And the other one. And getting there. Cool. Okay, now if I get my other container, and I'll try to put the screws away, make sure they don't get lost. Okay, so now you can lift up this dial. Here we go. Now you can see the day wheel and the date wheel. It's interesting to see the day wheel. It's in Russian. I don't know which one's Sunday, but I'm sure we can figure it out later. So I plan on removing the washer, and then the day wheel, and then the date wheel. So I've put the Raketa in a movement holder just to keep it secure. And that's the date washer. Put that out of the way. Next is the day wheel. You can just simply pull it up. I was supposedly simply pull it up, but okay, managed to get it out. And what we have here now is the dial guard, complete with the spring and a hairspring as well, and the jumper too. There's this spring here. It's a very thin one. Just be careful because it can pop up easily, and if it does, it'll be a real pain to find it. Yeah, it's probably impossible to find it. So I'll put my finger and try to remove it, get a better angle. It's a struggle. It's kind of hard to see my finger in there as well. Nope. Okay, screwdriver might help. Oh, there you go, see? Popped out. Not too far though. Oh, let me get it. And here you are. See? Very naughty. Just popped out of the screenshot. Good thing it's not too far away. Okay. Now the date dial guard. Held by 3 screws, and the hour wheel. Need to get the hour wheel out first. The hour wheel is the gold gear there, right there in the center. Can I just get it closer to me? Come on. Here. Great, great. Can I put it into shot again? Just checking this star gear. Yep, it's integrated into the dial guard. 3 screws, 2 and 3. So what I plan on doing is unscrewing 3 screws at the same time. I find doing it this way it's a lot faster. I don't have to take a screwdriver, loosen one, and then put it down, grab the tweezer, and take the loose screw and put it down somewhere. To me, that's well, not really wasting time, but it just uses up a lot of time. I'll just turn it around. Okay. And the last one. Just a bit closer and within shot at the same time. Okay. Now loosen three of the screws. So I should be able to pick them up, set it aside. Okay. Have to put it a bit closer, it's hard to see. Okay. Now that I've set that aside, I can now lift up the dial guard. I'll just try to find a nice spot to where I can lift it. Oh, here we go. Yep, got it. Loosened it up. Now I can lift it. And got it. And here's the back, how it looks like. No, note that there's another spring in there, so just try to be careful when you set it down. Again, you don't want it to just pop out. I'll go back to the date wheel. And it's interesting to see. It looks like it's brass. Yeah, it is brass. Yeah. Other cheap movement, oh, I shouldn't say cheap movement. Other movements use plastic instead, but this one's brass. So now going back to that dial, here's the back. Let me just put it on focus. There we go. And as I've mentioned earlier, there is this spring. Again, it's a very thin spring, and it can pop out at any time. So just try to be careful. And I'll use 2 tweezers this time rather than my finger. I'll pin it down. I hope you can see it. Yep, there you go. More tame this time rather than unlike the first one. And put that away. And that's the end of part 1. I'll see you on part 2.